All right, guys, so we got to talk about Elon Musk once again because he's done a long-form interview in which he explains during the interview whether or not he would unban Trump and how censorship would work on a Twitter platform owned by Elon Musk. And I found this interview to be fascinating because it kind of confirms some things I was telling you guys about how Elon Musk will run Twitter and how censorship will work on Twitter. Okay. So with that being said, I want to talk about that. But before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know if you like my channel, you want to support my channel, you can do so using the links in the description below. You support the Patreon, you support the PayPal, you support the merch. There are multiple ways to support the channel if you would like to do so. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll this clip of this interview that Elon Musk did with the Financial Times in which he explains whether or not he will unban Trump if his purchase of Twitter is successful. Take a look.
Are you planning to let Donald Trump back on?
Well, I think there's a general question of should Twitter have permanent bans? And you know, I've talked with Jack Dorsey about this, and he and I are of the same mind, which is that permanent bans should be extremely rare and really reserved for people where they're trying to for accounts that are bots or spam scam accounts where there's just no legitimacy to the account at all. I do think that it was not correct to ban Donald Trump. I think that was a mistake because it alienated a large part of the country and did not ultimately result in Donald Trump not having a voice. He is now going to be on Truth Social, as will a large part of the right in the United States, and so I think this could end up being, frankly, worse than having a single forum where everyone can debate. I guess the answer is that I would reverse the perma ban. Obviously, I don't own Twitter yet, so this is not like a thing that will definitely happen, because what if I don't own Twitter? But my opinion, and Jack Dorsey, I want to be clear, shares this opinion, is that we should not have perma bans. Now that doesn't mean that somebody gets to say whatever they want to say. If they say something that is illegal or otherwise, just destructive to the world, then that there should be perhaps a timeout, a temporary suspension, or that particular tweet should be made invisible or have very limited traction. But I think perma bans just fundamentally undermine trust in Twitter as a town square where everyone can voice their opinion. It was I think it was a morally bad decision, to be clear, and foolish in the extreme.
Even after he egged on the crowd who went to the US Capitol, some of them carrying nooses, you still think it was a mistake to remove him?
I think if there are tweets that are wrong, they should, and bad, those should be either deleted or made invisible. And a suspension, a temporary suspension is appropriate, but not a permanent ban.
So if the deal completes, he might potentially come back on, but with the understanding that if he does something similar again, he'll be back in the sin bin.
He has publicly stated that he will not be coming back to Twitter, and that he will only be on Truth Social. And this is the point that I'm trying to make, which is perhaps not getting across, is that banning Trump from Twitter didn't end Trump's voice. It will amplify it among the right. And this is why it is morally wrong and flat out stupid.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot there to break down. Okay, first and foremost, he did confirm that if he purchases Twitter, if the purchase actually goes through, then he would in fact unban President Trump. Okay, not that it would really matter because Trump claims that he's just going to be on Truth Social. But everything else that Elon Musk said in that interview, I think it's very noteworthy. And people need to pay close attention to what he's saying. Because I told you guys before the purchase was even complete, I said that if Elon Musk buys Twitter, right, everybody's saying that, oh, it's going to be a free speech platform, it's going to be a free speech platform. And I'm not saying that it's not going to be. It'll definitely be more friendly to free speech than it is now. But it's not going to be censorship free, right? It is not going to be censorship free. We don't actually know what Elon Musk means by, a pro free speech platform. Okay. That doesn't necessarily mean no censorship, because what he described in that interview was that, well, yeah, we'll still censor people if they do things that we deem to be out of line. However, it seems like that standard is going to be a lot higher, okay, in regards to what they see as over the line, okay, under Elon Musk's Twitter, okay. But he did say that, yeah, we would, throttle tweets or, hide tweets or give temporary suspensions to people who, I guess, violate the rules, which is in fact a form of censorship. Okay. And I'm not necessarily surprised by that. And I'm not necessarily, looking at that and saying, oh, Elon Musk, you're going back on your word. No, that's not what I'm saying, because that is just the reality of having a social media platform, right? I'm pretty sure Truth Social will do some form of censorship, just like I'm sure some of these other platforms, do some form of censorship, because you do have people that will push the extremes just to be pushing the extremes, okay? I think the main thing here is making sure that the censorship does not have a political bias, right? That things are being censored just because of the politics or because it's deemed misinformation or disinformation, right? I think that is the type of censorship that needs to go away, right? But he said that overall, he wouldn't allow permanent bans, right? So, permanent bans will only be reserved for accounts that literally serve no purpose, okay? Like spam and bots, right? So that being said, the interviewer here tried to push Elon on whether or not he would suspend Trump if another January 6th happened. Now, I think in this situation, Elon Musk got a little uncomfortable, right? Because he's presenting a hypothetical situation in which he would be pressured massively, right, from the media and politicians to censor Trump in case January 6th did happen again, okay, under the same circumstances. In his heart of hearts, I think he wants to say no, right? He would not receive, a permanent ban, or a suspension or whatever, or maybe even his tweets wouldn't be deleted. But I think he's making a point to say, well, I don't want people to think that you can just get away with anything. But the broader point and more important point that he's trying to bring home here is the fact that censorship makes us more polarized, okay? That censorship does not work. Permanently banning somebody from what is supposed to be a neutral platform like Twitter, right, or a larger platform like Twitter, just for them to go and be on other platforms is actually morally wrong and stupid, right? If your stated goal is to prevent extremism, right? If your stated goal is to reduce extremism and polarization in our country, that is the exact opposite of what you should do if that's what your goal is. Because when you force people into an echo chamber where all they hear is the same opinions over and over and over again, they don't hear any other opinions, that is how people become radicalized. And that's not just something that applies to the right, it applies to the left as well too, right? On any political extreme, right? If all the extremists are in one place, and I'm not saying that Truth Social is full of extremists or anything like that, I'm just saying this is basically what Elon Musk is getting at here, right? When you put a whole bunch of people on a platform that all think the same, that has serious consequences, right? That ratchets up the polarization and the extremism in our country because they're not getting any other viewpoint. There's no counter argument to the things that are being said on the alternative platform. However, if you have everybody on one platform like Twitter, where it is a public square, right, where you can openly debate, okay, back and forth about what's true and what's not true, then you're hearing opinions from all sides, which makes it so people become less polarized, right? They become less extreme in their views, okay, because they're hearing counter arguments to their views, right? That is what Elon Musk is getting at here. He's saying that the censorship that is happening from these social media companies is stupid and morally wrong. Like, they're not morally in the right for banning Trump, right? They would have been better off letting Trump continue to be on Twitter. That way, he can be a part of the public debate, and you don't have a whole bunch of people that just leave Twitter and go to another platform because Trump and a whole bunch of other people have been banned, and now all those same people are on one platform, and now they're getting exposed to all the things that you kicked them off Twitter for, right? It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. So again, with that being said, I thought Elon Musk's thoughts here were interesting. My overall takeaways is that, yeah, he would definitely unban Trump. However, there would still be some censorship on Elon Musk's Twitter platform, even though I think the standard would be much higher. But overall, I think what Elon Musk is getting at here in regards to how censorship actually promotes extremism and polarization is spot on. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.